So I was just reading this blog about why 90% of startups fail, and I kind of had my own opinions on it, and I wanted to share them here. And I don't ever think it's because of the idea. I don't think it's because of the timing of the market or any other external factor. I honestly, from all of my experience inside of sports, high performing teams, my two other previous companies, I honestly think it's because the team fall apart. And why do teams fall apart? Well, I mean, I think that's for a simple reason. If you think of in terms of human nature and how we naturally work together, if you're working hard at something and constantly going through pain and clashing and seeing those doubts kind of rise up, if you can't work through that conflict as a team, you fundamentally will not be able to work through anything. And as a company, as a startup, all you're doing all day long is working through failures and problems and fucking just shit that you all have to work through together, right? So if you go all in with somebody, you don't realize how hard it's going to be. You don't handle conflict well. You don't communicate clearly. I mean, it's like the number one thing that YC warns you about when you started up. When we first started, we were all going through YC startup school, and that was the number one thing that we harshed on was like, we all need to make sure that we work together confidently in this. And that's what saved us, honestly, or is continuously saving us. Like, we'd all worked together previously on companies before. We all believed in the vision. We all went through the same pain of the experience that we went through. And we all had that just deep desire to make it work. And I think that bond is the number one foundation. Um, that is what is helping us rise a lot sooner. Now, the second part to this is we have an even deeper foundation rooted in our internal lives. Every single one of us wants freedom, legacy, financial success. We all want to do bigger things and aspire to be greater people so that we can give back to our family and see the rewards of life. That was all just deep rooted into us, and we all explored that in many different ways before we all aligned and now do what we're doing together. And I think even higher so than the problem at hand that you're trying to solve, that is just another deeper rooted thing that you can stack on, making the foundation even stronger. So I think if you're trying to find a co founder, you need to make sure that the visions truly align in both areas, from what I've seen, anyways. Now, the third reason is due to skills. So, in a startup, fundamentally, if you had all of the skills in the world, you would be able to solve all the problems that you were going to face. And unfortunately, a lot of us are starting out, we're new, we don't have all those skills. And that is something that our team does extremely well, and we actually pride ourselves in. It's one of our value sets. So we believe that being able to learn or being intelligent is being able to learn a new topic, implement those changes into your learning, and begin utilizing that leverage. So if you change your behavior after you learn something and then start to see the iteration patterns on it, you will develop so much faster. And every single one of our founders is ruthless in their obsession with learning. Like anytime there's a new problem or something we don't know how to do, one of us immediately takes ownership of that problem and learns the skills that is necessary in order to solve that problem. And that is done across development, marketing, sales, customer success. There's not a single thing that we don't run into that somebody says, okay, I'm going to learn how to solve this and go ahead to do it. So if you think around the core principles of why startups win, it's because they are able to move very quickly. And if you don't have the skills in order to move very quickly, well, you then need to be able to learn those skills very quickly and move on them very fast so that your startup can continuously move through and push all these different phases where normal people just get stuck. So if you don't have a team that can do that, I think there's a significantly higher chance to fail. And like just thinking about it, man, like just going back, I'm so grateful for my team, so grateful all the things that we've done together and push through, because running a startup or trying to build a startup is fucking actually just heinous most of the time. Like you're literally just jumping from one new problem to the next and you can never get into a stride because all you're doing is just working through this massive problem set that you've never seen before, trying to figure out systems and processes that you can implement that actually work so then you can just jump to the next ones, right? I'm just so grateful for that our team actually has those skills in order to move through them. And you know, startups, whether it's a large company, small company, no matter what, I think culture is the most important part. And our team has a very specific culture that we've carried through in our first business, second business, and now third business. And honestly, I'm just super grateful for that. And I think if you have all of those three principles covered, I mean, you have 95% of the real reason on why a startup wouldn't fail. The rest of the 5% is just problems that you and your team can work through to achieve the outcomes that you're looking for. So that's what I would attribute our success over here at Automotive AI to. And I think if you could at least find that base set of problems to solve, you will be significantly better off when you run into all the other shit that you're going to hit when building a startup.